model, right, we do that. So you take a bunch of data as a training data, then you use the rest of the bunch of data to validate. That's the normal way of validating it. But actually, we went ahead one step further, and this is not usually done in AI training. So forward projections is that you take historical data, say January to October. I only show you the October because this too long time series I can't show you. You train that solid 10 months of data, and then you make predictions for November and December. So these are all 2025 data. So we know what's really happening, the actual real data we're using that. So you can train and see whether the patterns that you predict in November, December are aligned or more or less aligned with what's happening. But then again, this is not a super accuracy game. It means that if there's a peak in the pod, it doesn't necessarily that the AI model will capture that peak. It is again, a simulation, trying to simulate what has happened. But actually, if you look at R square, what is R square? R square basically means that the bigger it is closer to 1, the better it is in representing the patterns of every single data point that you have. And our relative implications on the carbon tax transfer. Then again, that exact amount will depend on what is the carbon tax rate, and then how much emission they were accounting for. So a bit further, looking at so-called planning. So we want to electrify. Electrification doesn't come free. So it's not just about investment cost. It's not just about buying new equipment. You also have to make more connections, enhancing the grid infrastructure, substations. So really the challenge is substations. Our grid is relatively moldy. So we have that problem. So this is roughly how much it might cost is fluctuating. So just a bit more information. That chart at the bottom and on top is the year-on-year change on infrastructure investment. So what it means is that not every year the increase is even. So maybe you'll see the peak increase is more even because that really follows the peak patterns and the total TUs, but the actual energy demand doesn't necessarily follow. So this is also the reality that we get, when you really train the model properly to reflect, to give you the reality. So that might collectively drive the demand for innovative technologies to be invested in the country. Energy security today cannot be more important topic. So moving away from fossil.
Sanjay from the Singapore Institute of Technology. Thanks, Victor, for the presentation. Really interesting stuff. One thing I noticed you didn't talk about was we're going from mechanical engineers to electrical engineers. What kind of capacity gap are we going to have to close when we make this transition to electrification?
Well, so I would say if you're graduated from electrical engineering and you want to take a mechanical engineering PhD, my most sincere advice from my personal experience is don't do it. But if you really want to do it, it is still possible. The only thing is that whatever you have gone through in the 4-year undergraduate courses, you do that again while you're doing PhD. So actually you're also getting a mechanical engineering bachelor degree while you're doing a PhD. So yes, don't try that. But you can still do it if you want to.